Morning, everybody. Harike, morning. Are you right? Have you received your stuff? Yes, thank you. Okay, thanks. Morning, Baba. How are you? Thank you. Are you right? No, I can't complain. No, thanks, Baba. You might be well, but you can't be well. Colleagues, we're about to start, but the really thing is that practically we don't have a quorum. No. So I need your advice. That how do we take this matter forward? Chief.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, firstly, I must just say, I know you're not doing roll call yet, but just while at it, convey the apologies of Dr. Hlope. He is attending the ethics committee, sitting in parallel to this meeting. But in terms of this meeting, I propose that we can proceed. I think the only thing that we perhaps can't do without a quorum is take whatever decisions. But I think the information can be communicated, because I think otherwise we're going to lose time. 31st May is around the corner. So I think we should just proceed, and then whatever decision require a quorum, then we just suspend those. Thank you.
Here is the proposal. Comrade Peter.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like just to know, so what do you mean when you say we don't form a quorum? How many we supposed to be in order to form a quorum? Can you give us that details, please? Thank you, Chair.
Our quorum, we must be 13. Out of the number of the people who are serving in this committee. And of course, another challenge is that there are people who have sent their apologies, like Mr. Ngola, no Mutambi, no Kawunda, like Dr. Hlope, and also Mama Dlamini from our side. So that is a challenge, that is a reality. Mama.
Thank you very much, Chair. Good morning, everyone. Chair, in principle, I would agree and say if this was any other portfolio committee, let us discuss and do not make decisions. But the problem is we're going to discuss everything here today, and when we get to the next meeting and we have a quorum, those people who were not here today would say, but I wanted to say this and that, and then we will repeat the discussions. If we can find an alternative and say, if we can summarize the discussions that we can continue, if we can summarize these discussions, and send it to the people and make sure they read it, because for us who are here, to sit here every time and just go over and over the same thing is really not something that I would agree for. Thank you.
Honourable Member Harike.
Chairperson, good morning to the chairpersons, the colleagues and the administration. This is not a difficult call, Chairperson. The rules make provision that we should be a quorum in order to proceed. It's a given, it's mandatory. So in the absence of a quorum, you cannot proceed. And respectfully, with my colleague Manye, I will differ, Chairpersons, that we don't need to casually go into the items and then at the next formal meeting repeat same, and then by so doing venture into the contents of the items. We need a full meeting and full participation to deliberate on the items before us. These are hefty items, and these are items that need us to apply our minds, and it requires constitutional engagement, because it's about the amendment of the Constitution. So our submission would be proposal would be that if we have all the relevant apologies and we are sure that nobody will arrive afterwards, normally we would say let's adjourn for 10 minutes or 15 minutes and then proceed afterwards if there's no quorum. But if we have solid apologies, means that we will not constitute a quorum today, then we must adjourn the meeting or defer the meeting to a next date. It's as easy as that, Chairperson. I again repeat, for the EFF, these items are too hefty, it's too comprehensive, and it needs thorough engagement in order for us to come to some conclusion here today. So this would be our proposal. I hope we have some support so that we don't repeat same all the time. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Honorable Member.
No, Chair, I'm actually trying to get to the rules here. Let's just quote which rule is saying the things that people are saying is in the rules. My understanding is that even the National Assembly will not be held to not proceeding because the quorum is not formed. Discussions do proceed, even in the National Assembly. So I can't understand why, if the National Assembly can do that, why can't the committee do that? I'm just trying to find the actual provision here in the rules. So those that say what they are saying, can they just quote which rule is this? Because I'm not aware of such a rule. What I know is that the business of Parliament cannot be held to ransom because of a quorum.
All right, let's do like this. I think, Honorable Member Mani, you are correct. If we don't have a quorum, we can't take maybe instant decisions about whatever. But we can maybe continue with our work. Let's say we check about the summary of the. Do you still remember we had some submissions in the past? And then at the moment, I think we can have maybe that particular summary if possible.
Of order, please. On a point of order, and this is a strong point of order. Unfortunately, through the chairperson, Honorable Manye, just a week ago, last Friday, they've stolen all my stuff here in Darling Street, my laptops, my everything. So I don't have a rule book here today. Otherwise, I would have quoted you the rule. However, the reason why I make the proposal is as simple as that. We should not leave. We must come to the meetings prepared. We should not sit here and deliberate casually, come back in the next meeting, give somebody else a chance to go and prepare again on this on top of what we have said and start all over again anew and wasting each other's time. We must come to the meetings prepared. We must not leave open gaps for people to go and prepare over and above what other people have said, Chairperson. And I submit respectfully so. I mean, why would we want to go and do a synopsis or an analysis of what we have in front of us? This is a formal meeting. The meeting has been called on a formal basis. We have received notice, we have received the time, and we should constitute in terms of a quorum. In the absence of a quorum, no decisions can be taken. The ultimate goal here is to take decisions on the items that we have in front of us, Chairperson. This is the ultimate goal. This is not to sit here casually and make some proposals and tease each other's minds and brains. It's about making decisions on what we have in front of us. Thank you very much indeed.
Honourable Member Peter.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, I would like just to ask you as the panel, why should we use the word quorum if we cannot be bound by that word? Why should we use it? We're supposed not to use that word quorum. Then we can carry on with our meeting. I thank you, Chair.
Okay, hold on a bit. Colleagues, you know, I think we are the employees of this committee. And when we are deployees of this committee, we must approach the things the way we're supposed to approach them. We mustn't be emotional. Yes, of course, this department is very sensitive. We need us to concentrate and also to contribute the way we're supposed to contribute. That's what I wanted you to appeal. Honourable Member, noted.
Thank you, Chair. Chair, with your indulgence, could I potentially read the rule in relation to quorum, Rule 27, with regards to joint committee meetings? So it says, 1, a joint committee may proceed with business irrespective of the number of members present. 2 says, when a joint committee has to decide a question and the number of members present is insufficient for a decision to be taken, the member or members presiding may either suspend business until a sufficient number of members is present or adjourn the meeting. And then it just goes to the last deliberation, and it says, it basically just says again, if there are insufficient amount of people to make the decision, we may adjourn. But yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay. Thank. No, Chair. I was gonna read just the. Yeah. Honourable Khareke, there's the book that we are referring to now. On the cover is written "Joint Rules of Parliament, 4th edition." I think the honourable member there just read it. I'm just gonna read just one clause, Section 27, subsection 1, and stop there. It says a joint committee may proceed with business irrespective of the number of members present. Full stop. So that's the point I'm saying. Even the National Assembly on its own has got a similar thing. Even the joint committees has got a similar thing. So there is nothing in law that stops us from proceeding. Thank you.
I've noted, Honourable Member Nomvalo.
Yeah, thank you very much, Chair. No, Chair, I just wanted to remind the committee that we once attempted to convene a meeting, I think some weeks ago, but because there were many apologies, we could not proceed. The meeting was postponed to another date. So I'm saying, if we keep on postponing our business because of quorum, then it means this committee is not going to do its work. Hence my support to Comrade Mwanyi's proposition, of course relying on the rules that we must proceed with the business of the day. And if we get into an instance where we have to do what subsection 2 of Rule 27 requires, then we will cross the bridge when we get there. Thank you very much.
Okay. Colleagues, I think we have reached an amicable way solution. Let us proceed, but with the condition that we are not going to adopt anything in terms of if we're supposed to adopt anything. But we can continue with our agenda. Our agenda was or is as follows. Number 1 is opening and welcome. Number 2, apologies. We have done the apologies. I think the meeting is now open already. And then number 3 is the adoption of the agenda. Number 4, opening remarks by the chairperson, deliberations on legal opinion, adoption of the community program for second term. That is our agenda. So now I think we have passed number 1. No matter we started with the left foot, everybody is welcomed. And the meeting is open. And then let's go for number 3, which is the adoption of the agenda. Do we agree with the agenda?
My word on record, from today, we can carry on with the meeting, no matter we are 4 or we are 3. So I need that to be principled and be written down. I thank you, Chair.
Okay. Hello.
Chair, I don't know the reason why we are spending 10 minutes on something that is a standing rule in Parliament, whether it's a joint committee or a portfolio committee or a select committee. The meeting can continue. We can discuss even if we are one person sitting there. But what is the reasoning behind spending 3 hours or 5 hours in discussing anything? The reason why we discuss is to get to a conclusion and to make a decision. If we can't get to a conclusion and make a decision today, then we can't make a decision today because we don't have enough people to carry that decision. So we will have to meet again. So we can argue the principle of one person or 10 people. We can discuss for 5 years. And if we don't have a quorum, we won't be able to make a decision. So we waste time. Thank you.
Honourable Member, I think you are fighting with the wrong person. Because let me explain something slightly like this. Number one, we respect the deployment of the people. Remember, we are sharing members in Parliament. I'll put an example. A few weeks ago, when we were supposed to carry on with our meeting, we had a challenge whereby most of the members, in particular members in serving in the National Assembly, were not here. We couldn't continue. And we didn't have such arguments which we're having today. And I realized, and I saw it was necessary that we mustn't continue because we wanted to have a very, very, collective leadership. That's what it's our dream, to have a collective leadership. That I will understand if people have just left whatever, but if there are serious reasons where even we do respect even your political parties where you are coming from. If there are commitments, if you are not there, we can't do something wrong which are going to regret at the end. But the colleagues from Umkhonto Party, they've just read some of the directives from the Constitution. What does it say? We mustn't argue about that because there is a directive which is proper, that if this is not happening, it must happen like this. I won't argue with that one again. But let me come back again. There was a proposal of adoption of the agenda. Any supporter? Any supporter to the adoption of the agenda? Okay. Chief? There is a seconder in adoption of the agenda. Wait, ma'am, I'm sharing. Yes.
I'm trying to help you.
Okay, fine. Yes, Chief.
Good morning, Chairperson. Nice seeing you again this morning. I just have a point of clarity, Chair, for noting that the rule says may continue, not must continue. So it will be up to either the Chairperson and the committee whether or not we continue. It doesn't say we must continue, it says may. That's a very critical legal point. Thank you, Chair.
Okay, that's taken. Noted. I think, colleagues, let's do this now. I think we have adopted the agenda, and it was seconded. Honourable Member Gericke.
Chairperson, I abstained earlier on from further deliberations because I did not want to waste the time of the committee and try to get into a fight. But I think we must consider the views that we express as parties here. MK has put their position, they've read the rules. There are, however, some other interpretations with regard to the rules. And I think it must be respected. There are other views also from other members, yes, and I've said also, to us it's pointless to sit here, deliberate on items, and we cannot take decisions as such. That is the point here. So, in terms of the adoption of the agenda, There was a suggestion and there was a second. And you must now test the floor. You must now go over to voting. It cannot be dependent on one or two persons to decide whether the agenda is adopted. This is a formal meeting now. You've declared if you open up for the items on the agenda 1, 2, 3, 4, it becomes a formal meeting, sir. Unfortunately so. And we must understand the legal implications of a formal meeting. And those legal implications should be applied throughout, not on an ad hoc basis. The question asked by Honorable Peter, Chairperson, the question asked by Honorable Peter I think, is the most critical question here. Because if we set the precedent here today to proceed in the absence of a quorum, whether the rulebook say may or may not or what have you, doesn't matter. It still boils down to making a decision. So Honorable Peter says, in future, when we are 4 or 3 or 5 people, are we then expected to proceed in the absence of other members? And that is the most critical question asked here this morning. I think for this committee, not to embroil itself into some controversy, because we're dealing with legal issues here, the EFF will propose that we do not adjourn the meeting, but we defer the meeting to a next suitable date where we make sure that all people that belong to this committee will be present and that we do have indeed a quorum in this committee. Thank you, Chair.
All right. I'm in a limbo now. Let's hear from you, member.
Thank you very much, Chair. Chair, I just want to restate what I said in the beginning. If we continue with the discussions and we can't make decisions and we have to meet again and discuss it over and over again, I'm not prepared to do so, so will you please excuse me? I'm going to leave now. Thank you.
Honourable member.
Yeah, no, thank you very much, Chair, once again. Look, Chair, my problem is that the day on which we sit our meetings is very conflicted in terms of different schedules to which our members are committed on Friday. And some members are going home. Today, there are mini plenaries, so some have attended the mini plenaries. Now, the likelihood is that if we say we adjourn or we defer, as the honorable member is saying, to another Friday, maybe to next week, we might be confronted by the similar circumstances. Now, the question is, what are we going to do under those circumstances? Are we going to postpone again? So it means this committee might not do its business because we keep on postponing. It's not for the second time. This is the second attempt. And we're saying we must adjourn again. So we are going to fail our constitutional obligation because we keep on adjourning and adjourning. I want to appeal to all members, Chair, that we continue with our business. And on matters that need voting, then we will defer them to other meetings in which we will meet the quorum. Thank you very much. It's a kind plea. I'm trying to lobby politely so. Other members, let us proceed, because it means this committee might not do its work outright if we continue in this fashion. Thank you very much.
Hands down. I'll give you an opportunity to talk. Ne? Hands down. You see, honourable members, I wanted to appeal to all of you that my legal understanding is that most of the time we must reach consensus when we're doing things. If we wanted to make sure that the meeting is one, I think we must reach a consensus when we wanted to reach it to an amicable solution about our line function. But if things are starting like this, I think it will be difficult in the near coming future. Therefore, I don't want to give ruling. I left it over to you deliberately so that you can give me, so that at the same time you can, at the end, be convinced that what line are we going to take. All right. Let me hear from you. No. Yes, ma'am. Honourable member, yes.
Thank you, Chairperson, and good morning to everybody in the room. Chairperson, democracy is a wonderful thing, Chairperson, and where there's a majority that says one thing, we usually go with the majority in the room. And it sounds like the majority in the room is asking to defer the meeting. So, Chair, I share the sentiments of my colleague who's left. Please excuse me from the meeting. Because yes, we'll be debating the same and deliberating the same things the next time. And just a request, Chairperson, through the Secretary, if we can please get confirmation of members who commit to come to this meeting ahead of the meeting, so we don't waste any more precious time in this committee. Thank you, Chairperson.
All right.
Chairperson.
Honourable members, let me give ruling then. I propose that we adjourn for 5 minutes, not more than 5 minutes. We'll come back. Let's adjourn for 5 minutes only. Right, are we back? Honorable members, you know, it is unfortunately when you are in the army, they give you soldiers, and then the soldiers they disappear. You know, there are a few things which I wanted to request. Where's my paper? To all members which are here, because you can see a lot of people now left us. Honorable Manye, Honorable Nomvalo, Honorable Peter, Honorable Harike, Honorable Finis. I won't count ourselves as chairperson, co-chairperson. I know that procedurally, the rules which you're talking about, not in terms of the constitution per se, but the principle, you were correct. But as I can regard our committee as a crawling baby because we're starting. You know what I wanted to propose from you, all members who are here. I wanted to propose that let's try all venues so that we cater to all people. Like to try maybe the next meeting to call a virtual meeting, which might accommodate a lot of people. I know very well that all of us, including ourselves in the movement, our number is reduced. And our members are serving in different committees. Whereas part of it, your number is also not like that. Even their numbers. So I wanted to appeal to all of us here, maybe to agree that let's call off the meeting. No matter, I agree, I know, wait, Honorable Nomvalo, I know. Remember, I've started with you and Honorable Manye that in terms of the principle, you were more than correct. You were more than correct, but I wanted to request that let us give it a trial. Not to break the law. Not to break the law. Okay. Let's have Honorable Nomvalo.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think I just want to address a few things. Ne? The first one is that you, as the chairpersons of this meeting, you have a responsibility to maintain the decorum of our committee first, and two, the decorum of our meetings. You must denounce the propensity that has been expressed here of people who leave our meetings haphazardly when they disagree with some of the propositions which are being made in our meetings. It must not be a normal practice. It must be condemned with the contempt it deserves. I think we must put that on record. Secondly, as the MK party, we don't wish to be part of mediocrity. And mediocrity manifests itself in many ways. We agreed in our previous meetings, Chair, that because there are issues that will need clarity on the legal advices, we require the parliamentary legal team to be part of our next meeting when we convene today. Now, what we have learned recently, a short while ago, through a briefing that we got from the content advisor, is that the parliamentary legal team is not here. So that as well contributes to the demise of this meeting. It should have not happened. So we want to know who was given a responsibility to invite them and has not done so, because that person must answer to this committee that why has the resolution of the committee not been implemented? So we are not taking that lightly, and we are saying that in order for us to move forward to work properly as this committee, we must be able to implement resolutions of this committee. Then the last one, Chair. I don't know if it's possible for this committee to identify a date which is not Friday, because Friday seems to be problematic. Like I've said earlier, that this is not for the first time we are deferring our meeting, because Friday coincides with many activities. Like today, it coincides with many plenaries. So I don't see the option of convening virtually being effective, because other people, for instance, today are engaged in many plenaries and they are convened in a virtual platform. So that might be the case even in future. And many people are taking, a preference of other activities over this committee or over these meetings. So I think, Chair, the option that we need to explore as well is an option of looking for another day, which might probably be a Thursday, because many members who sit in this committee, including the Chair, Honorable Bridget Park, sits in a Justice Committee, which only sits on Tuesday and Wednesday. It doesn't sit on Thursday, including 4 members who are not present in this meeting. They sit in the Justice Committee, and they don't sit in any other committee except the Justice Committee and this one. So my proposal, Chair, is that we must look for an option of looking for another day instead of saying we resort to a visual platform. Thank you very much.
Honorable Manye.
Yeah, thank you, Chair. I agree with everything that the Honorable Novalo has said. But in addition, Chair, I just want to respond to this issue of majority democracy and stuff. That in this country, we don't have a majoritarian rule. We've got a constitutional democracy. Rule of law must reign supreme. And this coming from MK must be very surprising, because we are the ones that are always accused of being constitutional delinquents. But here we are trying to uphold the rule of law. We've got rules here. The rules have anticipated everything, actually. They've anticipated this kind of a situation, and they've provided direction. They've even anticipated the issue of if you don't agree, what happens. And there are 2 options. Either you wait for those members, you suspend the decision on that particular issue, or you adjourn. It's not automatic that you adjourn. You will leave that decision, you proceed, and that decision unmade. Yes, the rules provide for this. I would honestly have a problem having signed an oath to be loyal to the Constitution of this country, to here blatantly be part of a violation of rules that emanate from the Constitution effectively. And then here am I call myself honorable, and I deliberately and knowingly break the law. I have a serious problem with this, Chair. Serious problem with this. And I would, my view is that, which is also going to be the MK party rule position, is that we cannot knowingly break the law. We are now wanting to make a deliberate decision. Law is read in front of us. We want to come up with all kinds of exoteric reasons, some emotional this and that, everything else but the law. We want to use everything else but the law to do the right thing. So for me, Chair, I would say, even if people challenge what happened in this meeting, but if this meeting was done in terms of the law, you are walking on water. But if we're going to be challenged that the chairperson presided and led the march against breaking the law, then where are we, chairperson? So I'm saying, here's the law. The law is directing, is giving us direction on what to do on this. Can you meet even if you're 1 or 2 or 4 members? Like a member said, the answer is a categoric yes, you can, and proceed, because this is what the rules say. Can you make decisions without a particular quorum? Answer is no. What do you do in that case? You suspend that decision-making process. You proceed. but you don't decide on the issue that requires decision. The law is clear. So I'm surprised as to why we extending this debate, Chairperson, and the agenda has been adopted. And once again, I want to re-emphasize the point that to have people that are going to show tantrums in the meeting and like little children to say, if it's not my way, I'm taking my ball, I'm going home. I mean, really, we can't allow such kind of a childish behavior. Thank you, Chair.
You will be the last one, Honorable Peter.
Thank you, Chair. Let me say thanks to Honorable Manye for his explanation. On my side, Chair, Honorable Mr. Notada, I don't know Notada. Nomvalo.
Yes.
Some of the issues that he raised, it was the issues that was raised by Honorable Brechtenbach in December, when me and Kaunda, we chased him not to carry on with the meeting in December. Honorable Brechtenbach also mentioned the exact points that we can carry on with the meeting as long as the law says. But me and Honorable Kaunda, we stopped the meeting because we're not in majority then. And we said, where is our people? How can we take a crucial decision? So if now that case of Honorable Mr. Manye, we have to give Honorable President an apology because we disrupted her meeting, not to carry on. So if now then we can carry on with the meeting that we said we cannot carry on, it means we don't set any precedents. So if Honorable Mr. Manye was here, maybe this problem could have been resolved. So that's why, Chair, I put my record clean, Honorable Manye, that if that may be the case, we can carry on with the meeting no matter we are 3 or 4. We can carry on with the meeting, but that must be principled because we chased Honorable Brechtenbach. But then there was a number of people, but we're only 2, but we managed to disrupt the meeting. So we owe you, Honorable Brechtenbach, an apology because we disrupted your meeting. I thank you.
Honorable members, let me start maybe to summarize. You see, we have listened to the views of the honorable members. It's correct in terms of the principle and the procedures. But I wanted you to appeal to the members who just left. Some people are taking us just for chicken or debauchery, and they are taking an advantage because we are quiet. It doesn't work like that. I think it must be for the first and the last time to act like this. And the honorable members from MK to raise that issue, you were correct, more than correct. Unlike people who disrespect this decorum, it doesn't mean that they are disrespecting me, but they are disrespecting the decorum of this house. So they mustn't forget that one day, towards our debates and like, when we indicated to tell the people outside there that how do we behave ourselves in our meeting, they wouldn't accept it. They must never behave like this. If we differ, as I indicated earlier on, we must differ. Yes, it's true, up until we reach consensus on the principal matter which is on the table. And to belong to other political parties, it doesn't mean that we are enemies. We're not enemies. We are from one family. Yes, we differ sometimes with political ideologies, but we are from one party. I mean, we are from one August house. We belong to one August house. It might happen some people are behaving like this, they never have an experience of these international visits or oversight visit or to go outside the country. We differ here in the country in South Africa, but when we take an international oversight, whatever, we belong to one family. You understand? Whether you are from which party, we belong to one family. If we go to that's how they take us. That's how they perceive if they see South Africans. I'm trying to say it mustn't happen again. It must be stopped. Oh, only remember, they're more than welcome towards closing the meeting because the meeting was aborted. So don't worry, you're more than welcome. We'll explain outside. So that's what happened. Sorry?
Sorry, Chair. I think as part of the explanation, can I get a sense of why I did not have transport as a member of this committee to come to the meeting?
I don't know from the Secretariat. We'll settle it with the Secretariat, that one. So, honorable members, let me continue by saying that, please, I wanted to appeal. Charity begins at home. You as an individual, you ought to be serious of yourself before other people are taking you so serious. If you're not serious of yourself, other people, they won't take you serious. I'm still appealing to those who just left us like that. So, and colleagues, I think we are going to look to that proposal which we have made, Honorable Member Nomvalo, of readjusting our meetings because it's very, very serious. And that's why myself, from my legal experience, I'm not bitter for some of the people because I know that there is some of the deployment somewhere, somehow. I'll put an example. Like I know with Advocate Mutambi is busy in Gauteng with interviews, etc., etc. Not her alone, with a lot of members from different political parties. There's some people who are busy somewhere, somehow. But this one which we have proposed, I think is correct. We are going to look on that one. And also look at the alternative, that how do we make sure that some people are participating in so serious serious occasion. Because some people, they forget that, you see, deployment is deployment, it's not an employment. You are here today, maybe next year not here. That is the name of the game. It will depend from the masses which we are playing with them, because we are playing with them. They're at home waiting for us to take decision on their behalf. But we're not serious, we're playing about them. So nevertheless, I'll suggest that we adjourn the meeting until further notice. Thank you very much. Nomvalo?
No, Chair, I'm just checking if it's possible. I've just seen on the agenda, I know that you are adjourning, and I'm not opposing your summary, but I just want to check if it's possible for you to chair just for noting, to chair the committee program for a second term, for us to have it so that we can prepare for the next meeting. Thank you.
Okay, sure. Okay. Yes. You have it now, my leader, Chair. Fine. The meeting stands adjourned.